In this video, I might make you angry because I will be talking about a problem that sales professionals face when they sell a premium solution: price. If you're hearing it's too expensive, you're not in a pricing conversation. You're in a value crisis. Because here's the truth: no one overpays for something they believe is worth it. So stop blaming the price and start fixing your pitch. In this video, I'll give you the exact framework to make price the least important part of the conversation. And I will help you protect your margins without discounting a single dime. I'm Sultan, and over the past 20 years, I've worked on hundreds of high-value B2B deals, and I have seen how to transform from a discount-dependent order taker to become value-confident seller. Price objections are universal. You'll hear them selling software, services, industrial equipment, vegetables, but how you respond separates the order takers from the true sales professionals. Today, I will give you this 5-step framework that will forever change how you handle the dreaded "it's too expensive" conversation. So what is really painful is that 58% of deals end in no decision rather than a loss to competitors. So when your prospects say that your solution is too expensive, they're usually not comparing you to a competitor. They're comparing you to doing nothing. And the real problem is not your price. Is that you haven't created enough perceived value to justify any price. Otherwise, why would people buy expensive iPhones when they could buy cheaper Android phones? So when you're selling feature, you should be selling outcomes. When you're talking about what your product does, you should be talking about what it means for their business. So first step, prevent price objections before they happen. The best way to handle price objections is to prevent them from happening in the first place. And that begins by setting value expectations very early. Most salespeople make a critical mistake. They wait until the proposal stage to discuss money. By then, it's too late. The prospect has already formed price expectations that probably don't align with reality. Instead, you need to have those budget conversations early. Try this. To make sure I don't waste your time, can you help me understand the investment you're prepared to make to solve this challenge? And if they push back, you can frame it differently and say, project like this typically require an investment between X and Y. Is that range aligned with what you have in mind? So what it does 3 powerful things. First, it qualifies prospects who can't afford your solution. 2, it sets realistic expectation. And 3, it gives you a target to build value toward. 2, diagnose the real objection. When you hear it's too objective, your first job is to understand if price is the actual issue or is it a smokescreen for something else? In my experience, more than 50% of price objections are actually hiding a different concern. They might not have decision-making authority. They're uncertain about implementation. They're afraid of making the wrong choice. Or they don't have urgency to solve their problems. And I will give you now 3 diagnostic questions that you can use to uncover the truth. So if price was not an issue, would you be ready to move forward today? Then, besides price, what other concerns do you have about moving forward? And last question, what would make this investment more justifiable for your organization? And what you need to do is really listen carefully to the response. If they hesitate or bring up other issues, price is not a real problem. And you need to address those concerns first and return to value. 3, reframe price to investment. The language you use around price matters tremendously. So stop using words like cost, price, expense. When you hear that, you have negative associations in the buyer's mind. Instead, you need to use investment language. Now, our solution costs $50,000, but the investment for this solution is $50,000. You should not say the monthly fee is $5,000, but your monthly investment would be $5,000 per month. And I'm not playing with words here. It's really changed how people perceive the transaction. Costs are things that you want to minimize, you want to avoid. Investments are things that grow and deliver returns. Next, calculate and present an ROI in concrete terms. Don't just say, this will save you money. Say, based on what we have discussed, this solution will deliver a 200% return on investment within 14 months. Most importantly, you need to make the cost of inaction visible. Help prospects understand what it costs them to maintain the status quo. And you could say, based on what you shared, the inefficiency in your current process costs you about $40,000 per month. That's about $500,000 per year that you're leaving on the table. 4, negotiate value, not price. We all come down to a moment when we need to apply some discount. And most salespeople will jump to, how much do I need to cut? And that's a fatal mistake that trains your buyers to push for discounts every time. Instead, you need to adopt a value negotiation mindset. When a prospect says your solution is too expensive, don't just offer a discount. Try these approaches instead. First, consider adding value rather than reducing price. And you can say something like, I understand you're looking for more value at this investment level. What if we included our advanced analytics package for the first 6 months at no additional charge? Second, you can create tiered offerings that allow prospects to self-select based on their budget and needs. A good practice is to have 3 options: a basic package at a lower price point, a standard offering, and a premium package with additional value. And doing that, shift the value from yes to no to which option works best for you. Customers like to be in control of their choices. And 3, use timings and terms as negotiation tools. You can say something like, if you can complete this agreement by the end of the month, I can offer net 60 payment terms. If you are willing to be a reference customer, I can include a premium onboarding package. The trick here is to prepare those conversations and to come up with the thing that costs you less and give them as first 5. Walking away with confidence. The most powerful negotiating position is being willing to walk away. This requires knowing your value and having firm boundaries around pricing. Discounting has hidden costs beyond just reduced margin. What it does, it lowers the value of your solution in the customer's eyes. It trains customers to expect discounts in the future. And it creates resentment when existing customers discover that other customers are paying way less. So establish clear discount thresholds and stick to them. And if a prospect pushes beyond those thresholds, be prepared to say, I understand that budget is a constraint. And based on what you shared, it seems our solution might not be the right fit at this time. Would it make sense to explore other options that might better align with your budget? And what's smart about this approach, it asks, the prospect can reveal they actually can afford your solution, or they confirm they truly can't buy a solution. And that saves you time, wasting time on an qualified opportunity. When you do need to walk away, we do it professionally and keep the door open. I appreciate your time and consideration. If your budget changes, if you would like to explore the phased approach that might better align with your current constraints, I'm happy to have that conversation. Common mistakes. So now let me share the 3 deadly mistakes I see sales professionals make when handling price objections. First, they offer discounts too quickly. The moment you offer a discount without getting anything in return, you've communicated that your original price was inflated. You train the buyer that pushing back works, and you've reduced your credibility. I think we all have seen a rep that offer a 30% discount within 30 seconds of hearing a mild price concern, or even their first price was already discounted. The prospect wondered what are the concessions they could extract and ending up demanding and getting a 50% discount before signing. Second mistake is to fail to establish value before discussing price. If you reveal pricing before establishing value, you're asking to be judged on price alone. And it's like a job candidate discussing salary requirements before even sharing their qualification and experience. A good practice we see in many organizations is that they are not allowed to give price in the first call. And what they need to do is to do a full, complete needs assessment to make sure that the deal is qualified and that they can offer something of value. This can piss off some customer because they really want to know the price, but at the same time, it helps you to work on opportunities that really make sense and get rid of all the other ones that are not qualified and probably would not qualify to be working together with you. A third mistake, getting defensive when price is challenged. When a prospect challenges the price, it triggers an emotional response. Many reps become defensive and they start to launch into justification about cost, margin, and company policies, and it's not possible. And being defensive signals weakness and uncertainty, and it makes the prospect more confident in pushing for concessions. Instead, you need to respond with confident curiosity. I appreciate you bring that up. Help me understand better what aspect of the investment does not align with the value you see in the solution. Asking that question will help you understand where the challenge is, where the gap in value perception is. So here's your price objection action plan for the next 7 days. Today, you need to create an ROI calculator specific to your solution. It should help to translate your value into financial terms that matter to your prospects. Tomorrow, review your last 10 lost deals and try to understand how many of those deals were because of price, and try to understand the patterns that were involved in those deals. On day 3, practice the diagnostic questions we covered with a colleague, and role play until they feel natural and conversational. On day 4, you need to develop 3 value-add alternatives you can offer instead of discounts. These should have high perceived value, but lower actual cost to your company. On day 5, create a 3-tier offering structure with clear value differentiations between tiers, and do that for every single one of your deals. On day 6, establish a non-negotiable discount threshold and practice walking away confidently when prospects push beyond that. And on day 7, audit your sales materials and presentations. You need to eliminate any cost-focused language and replace that with investment and value language. Remember, changing how you handle price objection is not just about techniques, it's about a mindset. It's about you believing in the value you provide before you can convince others. Price objections are not about price, they're about value. When a prospect says too expensive, they're really saying they don't see enough value to justify your price. The 5-step framework we covered today will transform how you handle those conversations. It begins by preventing price objections before they happen. Then, diagnose the real objection behind the price concern. Then you reframe from price to investment. Step 4 is to negotiate value and not price. And finally, it's about to walk away with confidence when necessary. The difference between average salespeople and top performer is not that top performers never hear price objection. It's that they've mastered the art of making price the least important part of the conversation. As Elias said, so stop discounting your way into poverty. Start selling on value and watch your margins and your confidence soar. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button for more no-nonsense sales strategies and drop a comment below with your toughest price objection scenario. I read every comment and use them to plan future video. Until next time, and remember, in sales, your price is only too high when your value is too low. And check out the next video to understand how to create amazing proposals that help you close bigger deals. It's right there.